Male validation is the cheapest currency on the market. And in this video, I'm going to show you just how meaningless it really is. So you can stop chasing approval, stop waiting to be chosen, drop that pick-me energy, and finally see male validation for what it is: cheap, shallow, and never a measure of your worth. So hi, if you're new here, my name is Natasha, and I help women break free from male-centered conditioning, raise their standards, and build lives that are rooted in self-worth, power, and peace. So first of all, I need you to know that I am a recovering pick-me girl. And it took some serious self-awareness, some very painful honesty, and deep internal wiring to finally see through that conditioning that I was exposed to from such an early age, and to really begin decentering men from my life and recentering myself. So if you're still chasing male validation right now, I just need you to know that it is not your fault. You've been trained to believe that if a man chooses you, it somehow signals that you are worthy, that his attention somehow makes you more lovable, more significant, more successful, and that being with a man is the ultimate happiness and fulfillment. But ask yourself this: how many times have you waited for a text that never came? How many times did you hold back your emotions just to keep him comfortable, or so you didn't scare him away or come across as too demanding? How many times did you say yes to a man simply because he showed interest in you first? Not because you truly waited whether he was the right man for you. I think too many women still confuse being wanted with being valued, and male validation has so many women performing for scraps. So this is what many women think male validation means. As women, we have often been raised to believe that being chosen by a man is some kind of ultimate achievement, that somehow it confirms that you are pretty, lovable, of value, desirable, and that he picked you, therefore you must be worthy. And in a world that constantly teaches women to compete for male attention, of course it feels validating when he picks you. But that is a lie sold by the patriarchy. Because what women think male validation means and what it actually is are two completely different things. So what does male validation actually mean? When a man pursues you, it's very easy to believe that it's because he genuinely likes you. And that might be true. But also, this is what most women aren't told. Men chase women for 100 reasons that often have nothing to do with real connection and everything to do with his ego, timing, and convenience. And you need to realize that men are raised in a world that tells them that they are entitled to women's attention, whereas we as women are conditioned to romanticize the male pursuit, to think, wow, he must really like me. But interest from a man is not the same as intention. His desire isn't the same as respect. And being pursued doesn't mean that you're being valued. So when a man chooses you, it's not always about your depth, your values, your power, your character, your ambition, your intelligence, and who you are as a person. It's about what you can do for him, how you make him feel. Maybe he just wants the attention. Maybe he's simply lonely. Maybe he feels peer pressure because all his other friends are in relationships. Maybe you are giving him the validation he needs because he's insecure. Maybe you're just easily available. Maybe you make him feel powerful, not because of who you are, but because of how you respond to him. And that's why male validation is so damn cheap. Because a lot of the time, it's not rooted in who you are. It's rooted in how you serve him. This is why so many women, and I was one of them, end up in situationships, in unbalanced dynamics, and even in abusive relationships with men who never truly saw them. So why are we conditioned to chase the male validation? None of this is accidental. From the moment we're little girls, we are taught or even conditioned, often in very subtle ways, that our job is to be chosen by a man, to be pretty, to be polite, to be agreeable, to be attractive, but never intimidating. to be low maintenance, easy to love, easy to keep, and so much more. We're taught to measure our worth through the male eyes. We often ask ourselves, does he like me? What can I do to make him like me more? Am I his type? Am I good enough for him? But no one teaches us to ask, do I feel respected? Do I feel safe? Do I even like him? Does this relationship support my purpose, my peace, my power? We're not taught how to choose the right person. We're trained to be choosable. And the cost of that to a woman can be enormous. Because in those relationships, we slowly begin to lose our boundaries, to lose our voice over time. We often override our intuition and betray our own needs. We learn to abandon ourselves just so we can be chosen by an average Joe. And worst of all, women only realize the truth after deep pain, emotional burnout, and sometimes outright trauma after being with men who never truly cared about us. So how do we begin to detox from male validation? What is the antidote? So the first step is self-awareness, which, if you've been watching this video, I hope you've already started to unlock in you. It's the realization that a man showing interest in you can mean 100 different things, and most of them have nothing to do with your worth. So before you jump in head first and get all gooey because a man is giving you attention, just pause. Force yourself to take a step back. Don't begin attaching any meaning to it, and don't assign any value to it. Just observe, audit him like a scientist would, and ask, what is he showing me? Is there depth here, or is it just surface level attention? Does this serve me or just stroke my ego? You're not being cold, you're just being conscious. And this is how you start breaking the habit of confusing male validation with real connection. So step 2. Once you've paused and observed the situation for what it is, the next step is this. Stop asking, does he like me? And start asking, do I like him? This is where you begin to flip the script. Instead of performing, pleasing, or bending to seem more desirable, you reclaim the role of a selector, not the candidate. Ask yourself, does this man align with my values, my energy, my long-term vision? Do I feel respected and emotionally safe around him? Does he bring me peace or confusion? I think most women never ask these questions because we've been trained so deeply to win the male attention, not to question if it's even worth having. But when you reverse the gaze, you stop performing and you start protecting your standards. You stop chasing male approval and start filtering for actual compatibility. So, the final step, step 3, always be willing to walk away. And the only way you can truly walk away is if you're building a life that feels whole without a man in it. A life where your peace, your purpose, your routines, your friendships, your growth, all of it is so rich and fulfilling that you'll choose peace over crumbs every single time. When your default is lack, attention will always feel addictive. But when your default is peace, attention that disrupts it feels like a threat, not a compliment. That's when you stop chasing chaos and really begin to protect your energy, because you no longer need a man to feel chosen. You've already chosen yourself. So here's what I want to leave you with today. You don't exist to be chosen. You exist to choose. And once you realize that, male validation just becomes background noise. The real flex is always choosing you, every single time. So if this hits home, leave a comment, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe.